Good morning, dear children. In the previous class, we started with the civics chapter and we discussed about village panchayat. Did you remember it? Why village panchayat is necessary at the village level? How it is composed? What are the members, or we shall say who are the members in the village panchayat? And why it is necessary to have village panchayat at the village level. So all these headings we discussed in the previous class. We also studied about Gram Sabha, its various functions and powers. Today we shall be discussing with the 3 tiers or the 3 levels of the village panchayat. So let's start with the explanation. So let's start with the 3 tiers of the village panchayat. First, village level panchayat. It is called a panchayat at the village level. Why? Because it is a local body which works for the good of the village. So it is also called a local body. Then the number of members, it's usually from 7 to 31, and occasionally groups are larger, but they never have less than 7 members. So the members of the village panchayat, it ranges from 7 to 31, and occasionally groups are larger, otherwise they are never less than 7 members. Then the block level institution is called the Panchayat Samiti, and the district level institution is called the Zilla Parishad. So children, remember this, the block level institution is Panchayat Samiti and the district level institution is called the Zilla Parishad. Now comes the second level of Panchayat, that is intermediate level Panchayat. Panchayat Samiti is a local government body at the Tehsil or Taluka level in India. So Panchayat Samiti is a local government body but at the Tehsil or the district level. It works for the villages of the Tehsil that together are called the development block. The Panchayat Samiti, it is the link between the Gram Panchayat and the district administration. So children, this works for the villages of the Tehsil that together are called a development block, and this Panchayat Samiti, it is a link, it acts at the intermediary link between the Gram Panchayat and the district administration. Then next, there are a number of variations of this institution in various states. So it is known, children, in different states it is known by different names. Like for example, it is known as Mandal Praja Parishad in Andhra Pradesh, Taluka Panchayat in Gujarat, Mandal Panchayat in Karnataka, etc. In general, it is a kind of Panchayati Raj at higher level. So children, I hope you have understood this, that it has various names in various states and it works at the Tehsil level and it acts as the link between the Gram Panchayat and the district administration. Then comes the constitution. How it is constituted? It is composed. How it is formed? It is composed of ex officio members, which means all sarpanches of the panchayats, samiti area, the MPs and MLAs of the area, and the SDO of the subdivision. Then it is co-opted members they are representatives of SC, ST and women associate members and some elected members. So how it is formed? These are the members comprising of this intermediate level panchayat. Then the samiti, it is elected for 5 years and its headed or its chairman is the head and there is one deputy chairman also. Then let's see the various departments which are under this Samiti. First is General Administration, then Finance, then Public Works, then Agriculture, then Health, then Education, Social Welfare, Information Technology and others. So these were the departments which is under this Samiti. Now let's see what are the functions of this Samiti. First, it implements schemes for the development of agriculture. So various schemes are launched by this Samiti for the development of agriculture. Then establishment of primary health centers and primary schools. It establishes the health centers, that is the hospitals, and even the primary schools. Then supply of drinking water, drainage, construction and repair of roads. So this is also the work of the Samiti to supply water, proper drainage facility and repair and construction of new roads. Then development of cottage and small scale industries and opening of cooperative societies. So this is another function of this Samiti, to develop cottage and small scale industries and to open new cooperative societies, and also establishment of youth organizations, that is forming associations and organization of the youngsters. Now let's see what are its sources of income, that is how it gets its money to do such a long and big functions. The main source of income of the Panchayat Samiti are grants in aid and loans from the state government. So it gets the grants and also the loans from the state government. Then comes the third level, that is the district level Panchayat. In the district level of the Panchayati Raj system, you have the Zilla Parishad. So in this district level is the Zilla Parishad. It looks after the administration of the rural area of the district, and its office is located at the district headquarters. So it takes care of the administration of the rural area of the district, and its office is located at the district headquarters. Then the Hindi word Parishad means council, and Zilla Parishad translates to district council. So it means this Zilla Parishad means the district council, and it is headed by the district collector. So district collector is the head of this council of the district magistrate or the deputy commissioner. Then it works as the link between the state government and the Panchayati Samiti. So it is a link between the state government and the Panchayat Samiti. Now let's see its various functions. First, main function is it provides essential services and facilities to the rural population, and the planning and execution of the development programs for the district. So its main function is to provide all the essential services and facilities to the people in the village, and the planning and execution of the development programs for the district. Then next, it to supply improved seeds to farmers, inform them of new techniques of training. Then it's to supply the improved quality of seeds to farmers, and also to inform them about the new techniques and programs. Undertake construction of small scale irrigation projects and percolation tanks. Its other function is to construct small scale irrigation projects and the percolation tanks, and also to maintain pastures and grazing lands for the farmers. Set up and run schools in villages, execute programs for adult literacy, and also to run libraries. So its other function is to set up and run schools in villages and educational programs for adults, and also to run libraries in the villages. Then other functions are to start primary health centers and hospitals in villages, start mobile hospitals for hamlets, vaccination drives against epidemics, and family welfare campaigns. So, to set up the health centers programs, hospitals in villages, and also to start mobile hospitals for hamlets, for small villages, vaccination programs against epidemics, and the family welfare campaigns. Then to construct bridges and roads in the villages. So these, then some more functions are there, children. Then to execute plans for the development of the scheduled castes and tribes, and to run ashrams for Adivasi children. Also to set up free hostels for scheduled caste students. So other programs functions are to execute plans for the development of the scheduled castes and tribes, and to run ashrams for Adivasi children, also to set up free hostels for scheduled caste students. Then to encourage entrepreneurs to start small scale industries like cottage industries, handicraft, agriculture, produce processing mills, dairy farms, etc. Implement rural employment schemes. Children, it also works for the welfare of the villages in the field of small scale industries like cottage industries, handicraft, agriculture, produce processing mills, dairy farms, etc. in the rural employment schemes. Then its other functions are to construct roads, schools and public properties like parks, hospitals, post office, etc. And they take care of the public properties. Then they even supply work for the poor people. So they also provide for the work opportunities for the poor people like tribes, scheduled castes and lower castes. Now let's see what are their sources of income. How do they get the money to construct, to build so many things? So their main source is taxes on water, pilgrimage, markets, etc. So they charge tax on water, pilgrimage, those who go for worshipping in the higher place, in the hill stations and other places, then markets, etc. Then fixed grant from the state government in proportion with the land revenue and money for works and schemes assigned to the parishad. So it also fixed grants from the state government. It also gets grant, the help from the state government in proportion with the land revenue, that is the taxes charged on the land, and also money for works and schemes assigned to the parishad. Now let's come to the conclusion that it is hoped that PRIs will emerge stronger and more dynamic to face various challenges and problems that still lie ahead of them. So it is hoped that these village panchayats, parishads will emerge stronger. They will be more stronger and more helpful to face various challenges and problems that lie ahead of them. And their success in the future will depend on the extent of transfer of rural development functions and devolution of financial and administrative powers to them by state government. So their success lies in the future will depend on the extent of transfer of rural development functions, that is how much rural development takes place, and the financial help given to them by the state government. Then, given these features of panchayats and the elected heads, there is need for building the capacity of elected through education and training. So, given these features of panchayats and the elected heads, there is need for building the capacity of elected through education and training programs. Then this is all the more necessary given a variety of administrative and financial functions expected to be performed by the elected rulers. So children, all these functions, it is expected that they are performed by the leaders as their attitude of the bureaucracy, that is their main duty is there to develop the villages and to provide with all the healthcare centers, facilities and all the things to them. So this is all about village panchayat, its level, gram sabha and everything. I hope you all have understood it. Go through the chapter which will make you more clear about the different concepts, their functions, their duties and various schemes. That's all for today. Thank you. Have a good day.